What if I told you that you could be the one sabotaging your freelance writing career because you're sending horrible pitches? I'm sorry, but it's true. As a freelance writer, do you need to keep pitching? Is there ever a point you get to and then you're like, oh, I have enough clients and I don't need to pitch further? My answer to that question is always going to be no. Honestly, I know that people have their different opinions, but for me, I don't ever see a reason to stop pitching, especially when you're just starting out. I mean, if you're a professional writer with years of experience and a ton of clients following you, then I mean, you could take a little break. But if you're just starting out, or you've not really gained a lot of ground in this industry, then you need to keep pitching and you need to do it consistently. So every freelance writing career has what is called the dry seasons, all right? And then it's like the period where you're not getting clients, you're not getting jobs, and then just in case you're watching this and you're going through that period, please, it's perfectly normal. We all go through it, all right? So everybody has this phase, but then what keeps you going during your dry season is that you continue to pitch, right? And you just keep pitching. You don't know who you might end up landing as a new client, so you just continue to pitch. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but just keep pitching. It's just like when the Bible says, sow in the day and sow in the night, but because you do not know which one will eventually germinate and carry your blessings. All right, we digress. Let's continue. We're going to get started in a few minutes, but please, if you're seeing this and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please do me a favor and click the subscribe button, and also leave a like to this video and tell me what you think. It really helps with my channel algorithm. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the video. So 5 mistakes that you should avoid when you're cold pitching. Mistake number 1 is making a long pitch. Guys, absolutely nobody has the time to read all of those sentences that you're going to write about your life history. I understand it's good, you are doing well, but then there's absolutely no need to, bore, in quotes, bore the reader with so many details. I mean, when you eventually land the job and begin to talk, you can then fill them in on the details. But when you're just starting out trying to catch their attention, that's not the time to be telling them your life history. So the first mistake you want to avoid is writing a pitch that is too long. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to recommend that you get is Contagious. I have it in hard copy. I don't know if you can see it. It's a book by Jonah Becher, and I highly recommend, especially if you're into copywriting, but then anybody watching can read it. I'm going to leave a link to this book in the description box, so check it out and read it. You're welcome. So the second mistake is sending your pitch to the wrong person. This can be very disheartening because you put in all the effort and then you write a good pitch and then you send it and you did everything right, but then you did not send it to the right person. Okay, which is why you need to be careful who you send your pitch to. It's very important. So guys, I made a short video about this on my Instagram, so I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description box. So just click the link and it will take you to the video and just watch it. It's a very brief video that will show you who you should send your pitch to. Okay, but as a quick one, let me just summarize and show you 4 people that you should be keeping an eye on when you're sending a pitch: the CEO, the marketing executive, the editor, and the content manager. Now, these are the 4 people that are most likely to receive your pitch, and these are the ones you should be sending a pitch to. Okay, so in my video, I explained in detail more about who you should send your pitch to for different purposes. For instance, if it's a small business that is just beginning, all right, you can send it to the CEO because the CEO usually is in charge of everything at the beginning stage. So you can send the pitch to a CEO if it's a budding business. But then if it's like a big business that is already established, then you have to look for the marketing executive or the editor, all right, and then send it to that person. And ensure that you are sending your pitch to an email address of an actual person. Guys, you need to understand that people that read these pitches are human beings, all right? So avoid sending your pitch to a generic email like info@yahoo.com or something of that sort, except it is explicitly stated that you should send your pitch to this email address. If it's not, then you should avoid sending pitches to those generic emails, because most times they just use those emails to get inquiries, and they get a lot of inquiries, and sometimes they might skip your pitch in the process. But then when you send it to a normal person, like a human being's email address, all right, then it has a higher chance of getting seen and read. Again, another important thing you can do is to track the employees, all right, that work with this brand on social media. LinkedIn and Twitter are very good for this kind of tracking. Okay, so if you can track the people on these social media platforms and send them the pitch directly to their email address, then you have a higher chance of getting your pitch seen and actually read. So the next mistake is not adding a link to your submission. Now, talk is cheap, so anybody can talk and promise to do anything, but then as a professional, something you need to do is include a link to your portfolio or your writing website, or just something, maybe your samples that have relevant samples to the job offer being displayed. Okay, so if someone is going to receive 100 pitches, and definitely not everybody is going to just add links or something. One way you can make your own sample stand out is by including a link to the relevant samples of jobs that are related that you've done in the past. Okay, so the second book I recommend is Seth Godin's All Marketers Are Liars, Tell Stories. Okay, so this is another must read. I also have it in hard copy, but I would also leave a link to the soft copy of the book in my description box. It's a must read. It's an absolute must read for everybody, especially if you are into the writing world. The fourth mistake I would say is not reading the job description perfectly. Now, I'm going to use this one because it encompasses a lot of other mistakes, alright? Because if you read the job description, you definitely see some specific requests that the poster has imputed into the description, and you'll be able to follow through accordingly. All right, also, if you read the job description perfectly, you won't have to copy and paste an already existing template like most freelancers do. All right, so you should understand that every job has a unique requirement, and something you don't want to do is copy and paste, especially if you do not edit, because you can't expect the proposal or the template that stood in for this job to also stand in for this job, because they have different requirements. But this is where a lot of freelancers miss it because they are usually lazy. Sorry. Okay, so yes, but if you can just take out the time to make a fresh template, a fresh proposal for each job as they appear, then you're already a step ahead and a step closer to getting the job. All right, so reading the job description is very important. The poster would most times put in some specific words and phrases that they want you to read, they want to use to check if you've truly read this description. And once you miss it, your proposal is already on the way to the trash can. So for the umpteenth time, read the job description perfectly before applying for any job. And the final mistake I'm going to mention here is not following up on the pitch that you've just sent. Most times freelancers tend to lose hope when you send a pitch and it doesn't get instant response. It doesn't always mean that you are getting snubbed. All right, sometimes it could be a clear case of missing the proposal in the email. All right, so it's possible that the poster missed your email. So something you want to do is follow up. Maybe after 3 days of sending the pitch and you haven't received a reply, you can send a follow-up message saying, oh, I sent this, I don't know if you saw it. Craft something and bring the email back to the attention of the poster. Part of following up is also following up after you've been rejected. Let me explain. All right, so I once got rejected, like my pitch was rejected, and then I reached out to it was rejected because, according to her, they had received the maximum number of writers that they needed, all right, and they didn't need an extra writer for this. So after a while, say 3 months, I reached out again asking if they now had space or openings for more, and luckily they did, and I actually got that job. All right, so that is a part of following up. Following up does not end when you get rejected. If you get rejected, check the reason for the rejection, and if it's something that you would like to work on, you can work on it and then come back and check with the company to see if they now have an opening for you. Okay, so my third book is, I do not have the hard copy, but it's called Breaking the Time Barrier, and it was written by Mike McDermott and Donald Cowper. It is an absolute must read for everybody that wants to master the art of pricing. Alright, so guys, thank you so much for staying with me till the end of this video. Tell me which of my books you've read or which one you'd like to read, and also tell me what you think about this video in general, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.